Hi, this is Kristy with Guidepost to Wellness. Welcome back. And if you are new to this channel, then you will find out that we discuss a lot of different topics that have to do with wellness for folks that either have chronic illnesses or maybe an autoimmune disorder or something like that. So today I wanted to talk about birthdays. To me, birthdays really aren't a big deal. And one of the big reasons why, personally, is because we really only get one day older at a time. And I think that if people like to celebrate their birthdays, that's great. For me, I'm just a very low-key kind of person when it comes to birthdays. I know that my mom used to always buy me fancy shoes and pretty sandals and stuff like that, but to me, I've just really always been pretty mellow when it comes to my birthday. Now, the funny thing is I do like to help celebrate other people's birthdays. Things like buying the saran wrap at the office so that a coworker's entire desk can be saran wrapped or something like that. But with the situation that's been going on recently, I actually wasn't in the office and did not get my cubicle decorated. But that's okay. I actually had my cube done in black whenever I turned 30. So I guess since I've already hit the black balloon and milestone there, I don't have to worry about that as much. But really, thinking about birthdays, sometimes people get a little overwhelmed or anxious when they think about birthdays, but to me, I'm really just one day older at a time. And so I thought I would take this time to just kind of reflect back on where I was in the past and where I am now, because I think that's a healthy exercise to do. So I just turned 50. And so when I think back of where I was at my 20th birthday, so I was in school. I went to a military college. I had just finished my sophomore year and was getting ready to start my junior year. And that was a really big deal at the school that I went to, because this is where you had the opportunity to leave and make that decision. So honestly, when I think back at where I was in my 20s, this was a time when I really should have made one of the most important decisions in my life, which was to leave the military school, because it really just didn't fit for me at all. So when I think back where I was in my 20s, I was at a school that I didn't want to be at. I felt pressured to make my family proud and to fit in. I am not really the military type. I'm a little bit more mellow than that. I'm not competitive, and that was very challenging for me. And so by staying there during that pivotal summer of when I turned 20, that's what really set the stage for a lot of the things that really changed my life. That's where I really had a lot of the emotional and physical traumas that really painted the way for my getting my lupus and a lot of other different things. So when I look back at where I was in my 20s, not a good space. And maybe physically I was healthier as far as a physical fitness perspective from being in the military, but I definitely wasn't healthy physically, as I had the start of the autoimmune disease already going on. Emotionally, I was definitely starting to shut down, to hide all my emotions. I didn't feel like I was in any control of my life, so that wasn't a really good place to be. So where was I at with my 30th birthday? That was the year 2000. So even though that was 6 years after I had my major flare, I was still trying to figure out life with an autoimmune disorder, keeping myself in remission, trying to figure out how much I could exercise, how much I couldn't, trying to make my way with my work. I was in a really still very much struggling emotionally. That took me years. It was affecting my relationships with my family, with my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband. It's amazing that we actually ever made it through that time period. So I was a mess on my 30th birthday. Let's see, where was I on my 40th birthday? That was 2010. So I know that career-wise, I was probably in a pretty good space. That was before things really kind of got challenging in the role that I was in. But I was traveling a lot. I was helping my family. This was a year before my dad died. And so I was doing a lot for them. So I'm a doer. So that was where I was at. I was doing, and not really doing much for myself. I wasn't doing much to take care of myself physically. I was really starting to feel lost and dissatisfied. My husband and my relationship was still not at its best. So 40s, not the best time for me. So where am I now, 2020? Really, a lot has changed in the last 10 years for me. And barring going through menopause, I'm almost at 100% menopause in almost a year. So barring going through all of that and the death of my mother, for me emotionally, I have grown and learned so much about myself. I've started to finally heal from all the things that happened with the decisions that I made younger. I actually started to forgive myself. I learned how to love myself, things that actually were not taught necessarily how to do. So I had to teach myself how to do those things. So really, I'm at a really good space in my life. Yes, things are challenging. It's not as easy to drop weight. It's not as easy to make changes, a lot of different things. And I realize that since I don't have kids of my own, that's a very different path that I've gone than maybe a lot of my peers. But when I take a look at where I am now, emotionally and mentally, I am healthier than I've ever been in my life. So that is a great place to be. So where am I going? Well, as I started thinking about what do I want to do now? And now that I've found my purpose of helping other people, that's where I really want to start honing in. And that's why it's actually going to be a benefit for all the viewers, because I've got so many ideas and I'm finally starting to work through some of the symptoms that I was having from the hormonal issues and having the more energy and feeling more excited about life. So I just have all these ideas of things that I want to do. So strap in, get ready, because you're going to start seeing a lot more videos, a lot more content, because I have finally started to recognize that I do have something to share. I have a purpose. And so I'm going to find new ways to challenge myself. I'm going to be doing some challenge videos. I want to do a video a week around the 4 cornerstones of sleep and relaxation, movement, and food. So you're going to start seeing a lot more content. If you have suggestions or ideas or things you'd like to hear about, please put them in the comments block below. I'd love to hear about that. I'd love to hear about other people, how they feel as they hit these milestone birthdays. I joke and tell people I'm a half century old now. And the thing is I don't feel it. I don't think I look it. I don't act it when I think back about how like my mother acted when she was my age and things of that nature. I don't feel that I'm limited by a certain age. Yes, things change in life, and I'm going to age as gracefully as I can, but I also am going to do whatever it takes to keep myself healthy and young and vibrant. Again, that's why I'm doing the bioidentical hormones. I'll put some links to that down below. And I'm also going to put a link to an article that I did at New Year's, because I really think that we should celebrate every single day. We should celebrate ourselves. We should celebrate others every single day. So that's why I declared that every day was a holiday back in New Year's Eve. And when it comes to birthdays, the same thing too. Celebrate yourself every single day. You're just one day older every day. So even though I've hit that milestone of the big 5-0, I'm fine with it. I'm great with it. As a matter of fact, I've got so much that I want to do with the rest of my life that it's a very exciting time. So anyway, thanks for listening and sharing in this video. If you've got any suggestions, ideas for topics that you want to hear me cover in the upcoming weeks, please let me know below. If you had something funny or something poignant that you want to share about your 50th or another milestone birthday, please share. I love to hear and get your comments. So take care, everyone, and be well.